All right, well, here we are in the AutoZone parking lot, starting off, you know, where I'm usually at, an AutoZone. So we just picked up an alternator, a belt, and a tensioner. Maybe just needs an alternator, but I may just, the belt's usually, like, if I'm there, like, probably just gonna give them that belt anyways. I usually don't charge any extra labor. But unless it looks really good, then I'll be like, hey, just keep your belt. But if it looks like it's getting pretty worn, I usually tell them, hey, here's your belt. And then I've got a tensioner just in case it's got a tensioner issue or it's like really, really weak. I'll check it out, but not something that I'll usually plan on selling when I'm there, just in case I don't want to have to run back to the store and then I'll just return it. So, yeah. Okay, without further ado, let's head over there, make sure it is this alternator. We'll test it. I've got my nice new scan tool that showed up from launch. I got on a Black Friday deal. So if you missed that deal, it was super good, but check out the link in the description. I sent them an email and they gave us a discount code. So check out the bottom of that and there will be a link to this tool. And that's my new go-to. I've been using that other launch x431, the small one, but I got this big one on Black Friday because, man, they offered me a deal I couldn't pass up. Yeah, so actually while I'm here at the light, I just remembered, I didn't do the diagnosis on this. The guy said it's, quote, definitely the alternator because they jumped it off and it didn't charge the battery. So, I'll probably do just a little bit of double checking before I get started. I'm not gonna charge him for a diagnosis, but I may tell him, hey, look, you may wanna pay for a full diagnosis because I've seen it on occasion if the battery's bad, and particularly this happened on like a day in the life video I did this winter when it was snowing. If it has like a really weak battery, it may never register enough voltage to start the charging system, so it could be that. I'm gonna jump it off just to double check because he said the lights were flickering and everything. So probably not the case, but it could be the fact that once it jumped off it was running fine and then he stopped it and assumed that it didn't charge the battery, but he could just have a completely busted battery that's not taking any charge. So we'll check. I'm just going to do like a little light diagnosis and just confirm, yeah, that's what it looks like it is or not. And it's an expensive little alternator here, so I don't want to just slap it in there just because he said I might save him some grief if at least I can tell him I think you're wrong. So we'll see. All right, well, we're here. Pretty nice little circumstance here where the vehicle is in a parking lot and the parking space in front is completely empty. So I just pulled right in front of this guy. That's like best case scenario. We'll be here with the car. It's an authorized parking lot here, but usually you don't have any issues during the day. And I'm here anyway, so if somebody comes by, I can just say, hey, I'm just fixing this car. Usually there's no issues, but if they make me get out, I'll just have to leave. But yeah, so that's everything. Here we go. Here we are with the car. That's a rhyme. What's in that little black bag I just brought back there then? I thought that was my multimeter. That's definitely the multimeter. What's this? Oh, is this that battery tester that I'm looking for? Oh no, there's a scan tool. Oh, probably gotta review that scan tool. Okay, well, I thought that was my battery tester, but luckily I have mine with me. I always do, but I thought I took it out when I saw that black bag, but that's another scan tool. And yeah, if you're interested in if you're in the market for scan tools, I'm doing a couple of reviews on different ones that company sent me, and I paid for some other ones. And yeah, anyways, today this one's my new go-to for sure. I'll pop the other one out in a video just to show you what it looks like, and I've got several more, so check for those. Maybe I'll put them in a specific playlist, but there is a tool review playlist for sure they'll be in. We are going to, so this is a little weird. I have an AutoZone commercial account and I have an all data. It's just a labor guide. That's what I paid 20 bucks for. So I'm sorry if I ever confuse anybody saying all data was 20 bucks. I just used the labor guide. I didn't make that distinction. But anyways, yeah, they just tell you, hey, this is how much the labor should cost. And it's nice because I use them to write out my estimates. So that's what's 20 bucks. But the information on this vehicle is weird. It was like 7.8 hours to replace the alternator, and I was like, I don't think so. So I just told the guy, I was like, yeah. So we looked up a 2008 Ford Escape because it's a 2006. That's probably more like it, but before I dig in anything, I'll let you know. So I just wrote him down for 1.2 hours of labor and told him, yeah, we got that belt and tensioner, but if you don't want it, it's your call. So it's customer discretion written in there, and here we go. We'll get started. It's really bright outside, so actually looking down in there is like really dim, but I've got my nice flashlights I can check it out with. And 1.2 hours. Back tire over there, it's fine. Not ideal, but I guess we're gonna have to end up jacking up this side, and we'll end up working down right here. So I'll just kind of set some stuff up so nobody parks here for right now and get ready to get that tire off. Okay, so that labor guide was talking about like some transmission, basically service stuff. So I'm assuming it was like that output shaft seal or something like that. So anyways, I don't think that's an issue. And that alternator looks really new down there. All of this aluminum right here is like oxidized, and there's like a brand new shiny alternator down there with a nice new looking belt. So that's a little weird. Let me call him and just see if he bought that somewhere else. He may have a warranty on it. And if he wants to, you know, do that, swap-a-roo, and then I'll just, you know, charge him a little bit more for the service call or whatever. Or he can have mine and have the warranty with the part. So that's the option. Anyways, I was talking about transmission stuff, which I think was just under the wrong category, but I will poke my head down there because that's where obviously the axle's coming out of that transmission. So maybe there's something weird going on down there, but I doubt it. And I'll look at the alternator I have in the box here, just make sure that it looks pretty normal. Got 2 or 3 bolts holding it to the motor and a pulley. And I don't think he's gonna need a belt because, like I said, that alternator looks brand new, and so does that belt. It's heavy because it was talking about like defog something on this alternator. Honestly, don't even know what that's all about. So this is interesting. These little studs here, there's 3 of those. So let me pop my head under there, confirm that there's nothing weird with these. It could just be the design of the case of this alternator. Got a normal plug-in, normal power supply. I'm gonna jump it off, make sure that everything's working fine. Pull that tag off, I guess, before I use it. It's not the best idea, but yeah, let's just double check 2 things, that it's doesn't have something super weird going on down there like this. Not sure what's connecting to that, or if it's just there, but it's definitely threaded, so could be something. And then we'll jump her off and make sure that it's not sending out power and that it's got a good connection down there and everything. So put my scan tool on there and check the signal to that alternator as well. All right, so if you can see that, let me dim this a little bit. It looks like it's just an interesting case design on that alternator. You can see kind of the little stud doodads poking out back there. Nothing connected to them. So interesting design choice, or it's used in another application. It's got its connector. I'm gonna go ahead and pull the rubber boot off of the power cable and make sure that that's not loose. That could be the issue if obviously you don't have a good connection. And then if that all looks good, throw that scan tool in there. All right, so everything down there looks fine. Yeah, this kit's super nice and this tablet's awesome. It's just quite a bit bigger than an x431 that I had and I still have. And it's probably just gonna end up, once I hit the road a little bit more full-time after school, one will probably just stay here in the Ranger and the other in the big truck. But yeah, I don't know if you've been keeping up to date with that big truck, but I'm a little disappointed that motor's taking so long. So I'm about to pull the plug on that order and we'll figure something else out. But yeah, it's got a bunch of adapters here. I'm not even sure what everything does. OBD1 era stuff, possibly different signal inputs, because I know you can put like different scopes and cameras on this device. So, you know, it's got the Bluetooth reader on it. So you probably plug one of these into one of those sides and plug the camera or whatever into the other when you're scoping around. Yeah, here as well, different inputs and outputs. These are probably, shoot, plug that into a laptop or something. I don't know, man. Here's the thing, I don't research half the stuff I got to do with it because I only use them for a certain few things. But check it out if you're interested, again, and there's a link in the description, and you'll get a discount for a little bit if you're seeing this video early. Here's an extender for that connector. I like those because some places are real tight to get that Bluetooth back out of there. And more connectors for your scope and stuff. So this is what I'm talking about. What you'll do is hook your scope up, and then you just hook this up, and this will send signal directly to the tablet. So this is all I need though. We're just gonna look at that alternator output. Okay, and these are this other adapter right here. This is for all the different plugins we've got here. So if this is something you need, awesome. I don't think I'll ever use these things, but I may just keep them around for a while. I may put them in a bag and just put them up in my truck somewhere that if I ever need one, I can at least dig them out. And same thing with these. So those are just for all these different connectors. You got, like, I know this one's Mercedes and stuff. I have some labeled in my other kit, but we'll put this up, plug up that connector and see what this alternator is putting out. And you can look at this tool. I know I mentioned that I'd be reviewing a couple different tools. So I'll throw this one in that same category, even though this is gonna be my daily use scan tool. But if you want this one for reference as well, I'll throw this video in there so you can watch the first few minutes of it. I'll put some timestamps in the description so you can see how this tool works. All right, here we go. That's enough about that, but I figured I've got it. I'm gonna be using it. Might as well give you a look at it now. And then in the future, you have this video to reference if you wanna see everything, or if you see me use something, you know what's in the kit. And you should be able to get a pretty good discount as well. Okay, well, it's got some power. I'm not gonna kill the battery right now. So we'll turn off that radio and everything when I get it in, but let me plug this in and get it going, and then I'll power it on so it's all ready to connect. And this one, actually, I can check my email and everything on this device. On the x431, I could probably download some apps. It's a tablet, but this one's just a lot easier to say, okay, let me just send some emails real quick and I can link it to my phone, so I've got internet. Yeah, so pretty much access to everything I would have on my computer, so I can have service information. AutoZone Pro, so I can actually write out quotes and everything while I'm out here working. And yeah, so I'm like, man, just a little bit better and good deal. So you get yourself a good deal as well if you're in the market for one of these. But I know several people picked them up on Black Friday. They sold out pretty quickly, so here's another chance to get yourself one. Here's a look at the menu. Service functions, got a ton of them. Check out their link. You know, that link, you'll go, you can see, read all your own information. But here's a look at it. Brake reset, everything. This one, maybe I'll screen record this. We'll go back and look at it. You know, there's a diagnosis. Well, we're gonna go ahead and read that VIN, but let me just cancel that. Okay, so we just got connected to the vehicle. Well, we just got signal to that, connected to that Bluetooth device. We'll connect it to the vehicle here. And the camera's a weird angle, but on the dash it's gonna be in the sun, so the main focus is the screen anyways. And this does bi-directional stuff as well. You can always update it in the future, but they've got pretty good service. And all right, so we just got in here. I guess I wasn't screen recording. So anyways, we got into the vehicle system. We're at the power control module right now. Let's read the fault code. Key on, engine off, on-demand self-test. Let's retrieve those data trouble codes, and then we'll do a self-test. Charging system defect. That's good news. That's something that we want to see, because that could be signal to the thing, to the charging system, but we know it's probably not the battery now, since it's that charging system defect. Like I said, it could be a signal wire to that alternator, so I'll see if I can check that here. Definitely not going to clear those DTCs. On-demand self-test. And here we go. This is going to self-test, so it may turn the cooling fan on and stuff. It's going to communicate with a few sensors here. Here, those, I heard some injectors turn on, or that fuel pump. In fact, I did a call out for this vehicle one time, and I never made a video, but it wouldn't start, and it was just the inertia switch, so that was weird. Okay, that's it. Everything else looks like that quick little system diagnosis there. It looks fine, because we just pulled up that charging system defect as well. So yeah, so nothing bi-directional there, but we can probably pull up some live data on it, see what that charging system's got. So there's our diagnostics. Let's go back to just system selection here. It's a good warning to not forget your stuff. So let's do, it might be under quick access. We'll see if it's not here. We'll check quick access. But that may just be for all that TBMS stuff. Gotta figure out this scan tool. Some selection here. Powertrain control module. These are awesome, and like communicating with transmission modules and stuff when you're diagnosing. My brother has had a Ford truck sitting in the field at my dad's house for years, because we're out here at school. haven't had time to work on it, but it's been sitting out there for years. And oh, you know what, we want data stream for years because it's had some sort of transmission issue. My brother got a new transmission put in it. Actually, I think he may have taken the old one out and got it rebuilt and then put it in, and it still, you know, sometimes it would, like, as soon as it got into second gear, would die. It sat out in a field for years, and so who knows when this happened, some squirrels chewed up some stuff. The catalytic converter got clogged, so they're just replacing that. But they actually, when they pulled the catalytic converter out, found a section of wiring that was completely demolished by some squirrels and stuff like this. When you can just tell those actual wirings and sensors to turn on, so you can check the sensors. When you can actually tell those certain sensors to turn on and check those wires for signals and references and ground and power, you know, makes, you know, saying, okay, we've definitely got an issue in our wiring here, 100% better. And just the fact that, like, getting to that point with a bidirectional scan tool, game changer. Okay, here we go. We're gonna pull up this data stream now. Done enough talking. I don't know actually if we have any more battery. We may be out of battery here on this vehicle. Okay. Yeah, 219 data points. That's insane. Okay, battery voltage, that's good. And then I may just, while this is going, jump up there with my jump box and start it and check. We'll see, like, alternator. There's a look at all these data points. It's going to be different for each vehicle, but obviously a ton of stuff here. I'll pull up two just so we have a graph we can look at, and you can see if let's see if we can overlay and stuff. That's a nice one. Camshaft position sensor status, we'll look at that. And then we can look at, like, the engine coolant temperature sensor. So then we'll just select those and hit OK. Awesome. Battery voltage 6.3 volts right now. 6.38, 31, 32. That's got a pretty quick refresh rate, which is so nice to see. Some of these Bluetooth ones have a hard time communicating that quickly. No error on the camshaft position sensor, and then coolant temperature sensor. It'll show you the standard range on this too. My x431 does that as well, which is really nice to take, like, screenshots or screen recordings and show them to the customer and say, here's what we diagnosed, and you can see, I mean, it's telling you right here that information on this. A standard range is 10 to 16. I can, and it's red. Actually, that's the first time I noticed that. That's red, indicating that probably, that's what I'm guessing the red indicates, that it's not up to, it's not inside of its standard range. So if you can select all the data points and scroll through, I guess, and look for a color, I did not even know that. So we will do English range here, and let's go ahead and look at that graph. Pretty consistent. I don't think we're gonna get anything to turn over. And that reconnected because I flipped the key there. So let's see if we can overlay. Yeah, my jump box is almost dead. This will give us enough signal to look at that data stream, but we've got jumper cables right here. I don't have any in my truck right now. Actually, I think I do. But anyways, we'll just have to jump this off with my truck when we're done, because I did not realize my jump box was dead. I'll just plug that in. Let's see, here we go though. We can click on this, then we can go, boom. There's your overlay. Let's come out from behind that recording image for me. Yeah, there you go. You can gesture scaling there. Probably scale it with pinching. Yep, sure can. Okay, battery voltage. Yeah, you can see when it pops out from that jump box how it resets, and it's going to overheat here in a minute, or turn off to keep itself from overheating. But there you go. There's a look at that overlay function. That's awesome. Far over there. All right, Jack and Jack stand under there. This blue block went bouncing over here, but let's chalk this opposite tire. That's done. Let's go ahead and remove the key. Put it in my pocket with the windows rolled down. I'll put it on the seat. Yeah, it's so hot, even sitting on the whitish, the light colored seat in my truck. About burned my leg, so just probably about 90 degrees today. It's been a lot hotter recently, but 90s, like borderline tolerable in the shade. It's at the point where over 85 in the shade. Out here it's so dry, shade makes a difference. In Tennessee, I'm like, yeah, shade, yeah, still hot and sweaty. But out here, shade makes a difference. You feel cool. Well, anything over 85 is like borderline. Even the shade's not really cool. Like you still, if you spend time in the shade, get too hot. So it is what it is. I'll just be hot. I've got waters and Gatorade, so stay hydrated, and we'll probably be done in about an hour here since we're getting started. All the signals corresponded with that alternator being out, so we'll pull her out and get that new one in. That one was tight. Yeah. Nobody torques wheels around here. I've gone to several different tire shops, and I'm like, I'm gonna stick with whichever one torques my wheels. I check them afterwards with my torque meter, because I don't want to be like, are you gonna torque my wheels? They'll just say yes and do it because you said it. I want somewhere where I can trust and send people, but so far I haven't found anywhere in Utah County reliable enough to send people to. So if you know somewhere in Utah County that actually torques their lug nuts and is a real nice, reliable, honest tire shop, let me know in the comments down below. All right, so concern right now, so we've got alternator sitting like right here. I'm not sure if there's room to get that out of there. Maybe it did have something to do with the transmission. That's why all that service data said 7.8 hours. So I simply don't have time for that right now with school. So I'd have to refer them probably to the dealership or somewhere else. I just wouldn't, I would not be able to do it. I don't have enough time, but I'll reference some service data here soon if I open that up and it looks weird. But I just can't imagine a vehicle where they designed it and said, oh yeah, you can't get to the alternator. So some of them are hard to get to, but nothing crazy. So if this has to have like subframe dropout or anything, that's a no-go from me. Well, we'll get this shroud off, I'll check it out, and we'll see what's going on. All right, plastic's off. Here's a first look at it, and that's the alternator right there. See, even if I pulled that axle shaft, I don't think I have enough room to get it out of right here. Maybe it comes out above. You know what? I'm not gonna guess right now. I'm gonna look at some service info. And man, maybe they were serious about 7.8 hours, which makes absolutely no sense that they would have designed the vehicle this way. My guess is we could drop the subframe to create some space right here, but we would have to completely drop it. There's no way, yeah, there's no way even just a little bit of loosening up on the other side and bending it down gets that out of there, because we've got to come straight through this gap. So that's gonna have to drop down as wide as that alternator is. So complete drop. But yeah, I mean, I could be wrong. Let's check. I'll check back and let you know what I find out. I can't believe it though. Sometimes, a lot of times I don't look up surface info. Usually isn't a big deal. I just bill them for the labor. It says, okay, yeah, 1.2 hours. But when I saw 7.8, I was like, nah, there's no way. Could be wrong. So could have at that point said, wait, let me double, triple check, but we're doing it now. Okay, well, that is interesting. It is going to be quite the job. There is a faster way to do it than the way that you're supposed to, by taking the axle out. So I guess if you want to be in the business of charging people the full amount for what a job should take and doing it a lot faster, this is a good job for you. However, it's still probably, I'm estimating, going to take me about 3 hours, and unfortunately I don't have that kind of time. So this is going to turn into, maybe you don't see this video, maybe it's just a review of that scan tool, because at least we got it looked at, and I'm going to just tell that guy, hey, good luck, sorry I can't help you, and thanks for letting me film a video. Some stuff going on here, just like a lot of like looking at stuff, not too much rust, busted boots on this outer tie rod end, and it looks like just some signs of neglect in the vehicle. Oil pan gasket's leaking, but looks like the front crank seal may be leaking as well. But even then, like, it looks like it's going to be quite the job just to do simple stuff like that on this vehicle. Interesting. Surprisingly, I've never seen one of these before. I know in the future what this is going to take, and I just assumed that service data was wrong, but I'm pretty sure it was not. Just started off with transmission stuff. Anyways, yeah, I'm just gonna pass on the bad news and probably have this car towed to the dealership or another shop that he chooses. But I simply just don't have the time for this. If I did, it would be a job that I definitely would dread having to do as well. But with the rust on this axle, looks like it may be stuck-ish in there. You can always take the whole knuckle off with the hub, I mean the rotor and everything. But you know, the more you just get into it, this looks like this is gonna be a headache. Anyways, yeah. That's the perks of being my own boss. If I can't do it or don't want to, don't have to. But not that I don't want to do this one. I don't want to. Not that I wouldn't because of not wanting to. Fortunately, I have a better and perfect excuse. Put this back on, we'll let the customer know, and thanks for watching. Check out that scan tool, I guess. I'll just put it in the tool reviews videos, and we'll see you on the next episode. Well, if that video turns out, it's gonna be pretty funny. I was literally just making a short the other day saying occasionally I get burned because I don't do enough research. This time I did the research and I just thought there's no way that information was wrong. I second guessed the info and popped over there, and sure enough it was right. So I wasted my own time, but it was my own fault. Pretty much the same scenario, and that's the only real instances where I get myself in trouble or get burned. And yep, happens about once a month. So thanks for watching. I'll see you on the next episode.